Okay, now don't let me shock you if I get into the picture, because this is on the big monitor. Here's how big my hand is, and if my head gets in there, don't let it scare you away. Hopefully it won't, because if it does, it'll be in the way. But you see the 60, 61, and 62. This is the picture you use for the first set of measurements. Now I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a fifth drop here. The picture actually goes lower than this. It just doesn't show up on the screen. But let's just measure a few of these drops. Okay, let's measure this big one here. Now, when I measure on this monitor, good heavens, that thing measures 58 of the little measurements on this typical ruler. And this isn't the smallest one. This is the one most people use. If you can read the smallest one, that's even better. That's 58, and I measure it in this direction, and it comes out, I should have my glasses on, I've been in the pool. It comes out 43. 58 this way, 43 this way. That averages out to about 59 or 60. So that would be the diameter of this one. 60 whatevers. These marks are whatevers. Okay, well, let's measure a smaller one. Let's measure this one over here. Okay, now I can't get my fat head in the way. Actually, yeah, I still want to measure that one. Probably should have my glasses on. Eyes are a little blurry, but it looks like 25 this way. And about 25 that way, so that's a pretty good circle. So that averages out to 25, so that's going to be the diameter. Now I'd write these diameters down. I'd write 60, I'd write 25. For this drop, which is a little bit elongated, I measure across and I get 23 that way and 38 this way. Now 23 and 38 average out to about 30. Or 31, depending how you want to round off. Okay, well, I want to measure all the drops that have a diameter more than a millimeter, an actual millimeter. Now, where is an actual millimeter? We have actual millimeters out here, but I'm talking about these raindrops. They aren't measured out here, they're enlarged. So if I measure how many actual millimeters these are, it's not going to be how many millimeters they really were on that flat piece of plastic. Here we have millimeters, and I can take my ruler and I see that on this ruler a millimeter appears to be about 13 whatevers, 13 of the smallest marks on this ruler segment. Okay, so I want to measure every drop whose diameter is more than 13 of these. Now this drop, I forget, I think it was about 15, yeah. No, that's about 25. Sorry, this little one here. Okay, this little one here, I'd get right at about 15. So I think I'd have to measure this one. I don't think I'd have to measure this one. It's smaller. It looks like probably around 10 or 12. Yeah, it looks like about 12. Okay, so I don't have to measure it. But I've got to measure every one that's pretty much bigger than this one. That would be this one and this one. I'd probably better measure this one and this one, this one, this one, this one and this one, and this one and this one, and these two. And I can only see a fragment of this, but it's really there if you go down, you know, if you scroll a little, if I was to scroll a little further. So those are the ones I'd have to measure as I see them here. Now I could scroll the thing up and I'd see a few more that I have to measure. There might be 10 to 20 in any given picture that you might have to measure. Okay, so when you measure them, you write down these measurements. These are whatevers. And you write down how many whatevers there are in an actual millimeter. And that's the first type of observation you're going to need to take.